Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night, fumbling half asleep toward the bathroom, wondering if this routine will follow you for the rest of your life? For millions of men after 60, 2, 3, even 4 trips each night feel like a punishment of age. But here's the part few men ever hear. It doesn't have to be this way. These sleepless nights are not just an inevitable sign of getting older. They are your prostate quietly asking for attention. And what most doctors fail to say is that 3 small daily habits can change everything. They cost nothing, require no prescriptions, and yet can restore sleep, energy, and dignity. In this video, we'll uncover those habits one by one, and the last will surprise you most. But before they make sense, we need to understand why the prostate becomes so vulnerable after 60. Let's take a closer look at what's really happening inside your body. The prostate and aging, what really happens after 60. Those sleepless nights we spoke about are not simply random events or punishments of age. They are signals, and to understand them, we need to take a gentle look inside the body. At the center of these struggles sits a small but powerful gland, the prostate. The prostate is about the size of a walnut and rests just beneath your bladder. Its main task is to produce fluid that nourishes and protects sperm, a role that often goes unnoticed in daily life. But its location is critical. The prostate wraps around your urethra, the narrow tube that carries urine from the bladder to the outside of your body. Think of it like a ring around a straw. When the ring is smooth and even, liquid passes freely. When the ring thickens, the flow weakens and slows. This is exactly what happens with age. After 60, natural hormonal changes begin to affect the prostate. Testosterone gradually declines, while estrogen plays a relatively stronger role. This shift triggers the gland to grow, a condition doctors call benign prostatic hyperplasia, or BPH. According to the National Institutes of Health, more than half of men in their 60s experience some degree of prostate enlargement. By 70, that number climbs to about 70%. At first, this growth is silent. You may not notice anything at all, but as the prostate presses more firmly against the urethra, the symptoms begin. Some men struggle to start urinating, standing there waiting for the flow to begin. Others notice a weak or interrupted stream. Many feel that the bladder never fully empties, leaving them restless. And almost all eventually face the most disruptive symptom of all, waking several times at night, unable to stay asleep because the bladder keeps calling. For generations, men have accepted these changes as just getting old. They sigh, they joke about it, and they carry on. But here is the important truth. While prostate enlargement is common, suffering from it is not inevitable. Research from trusted institutions like Mayo Clinic and Harvard shows that lifestyle choices strongly influence how severe symptoms become. Inflammation, poor circulation, and unhealthy routines accelerate irritation of the gland, making the problem worse. On the other hand, small, thoughtful habits can slow the progression and even bring relief. It helps to see the prostate not as an enemy, but as a partner. Like the heart or the lungs, it responds to how you treat it. Neglect it, and the warning signs grow louder. Care for it, and it rewards you with balance, comfort, and freedom. Those nightly bathroom trips are not the end of the story. They are a reminder to act. This is why the habits we are about to explore matter so deeply. They are not magic cures, and they cannot replace medical care, but they are daily tools that allow you to regain control. They target the very triggers, irritation, inflammation, and congestion that make the prostate swell, and they do it in ways that are natural, accessible, and backed by science. So, before you accept another restless night as your fate, consider this. The choices you make each day still shape the health of your prostate. And the good news is, those choices can be simple. In the next section, we will begin with the easiest of all, water. Not just how much you drink, but when you drink it, and how that one shift could mean the difference between 3 bathroom trips at night and a full night of uninterrupted rest. Habit 1. Smart hydration. Now that we have taken a closer look at how the prostate changes with age, let us begin with the first daily habit. It is so ordinary that most men overlook it, yet when practiced correctly, it can ease irritation, reduce nighttime bathroom trips, and restore hours of restful sleep. I call it smart hydration. Most of us grow up hearing the advice to drink plenty of water, but the secret for men after 60 is not just how much you drink, it is when you drink. Timing is everything. Here is why. When your body does not get enough water during the day, your urine becomes dark and concentrated. This concentrated urine contains salts and metabolic waste that irritate the bladder lining and put extra pressure on the prostate. That irritation shows up as urgency, discomfort, and more frequent trips to the bathroom. For a gland already sensitive with age, this is like adding fuel to the fire. On the other hand, when you hydrate at the right times, your urine stays light and gentle, making it easier for the bladder and prostate to handle. The challenge is this: many men drink very little water during the day, then suddenly drink tea, coffee, or even water in the evening. This late fluid intake forces the kidneys to work overtime at night. The bladder fills quickly, and sleep is interrupted again and again. The solution is surprisingly simple. Front-load your hydration. Drink most of your water in the morning and early afternoon. After 6 in the evening, cut back sharply. Take small sips if you feel thirsty, but avoid large glasses close to bedtime. By doing this, you support your prostate during the day while giving your bladder a chance to rest at night. Science supports this practice. Several studies show that men who follow a timed hydration routine report up to a 40% reduction in nighttime urination. Imagine the difference between waking 3 or 4 times versus waking only once or not at all. That extra deep sleep strengthens your memory, lifts your mood, and restores the energy you need to enjoy the day. To make this easy, here is a practical routine. Drink 1 full glass of water shortly after waking. Have another mid-morning and 1 before lunch. Add 1 more in mid-afternoon. After dinner, take only small sips when you feel dry. This simple rhythm keeps your body flushed during the day while protecting your nights. I recall a patient named George, 72, who struggled for years with broken sleep. He believed it was simply his age catching up with him. But when he adjusted his hydration pattern, drinking earlier in the day and cutting back at night, the results surprised him. Within a week, he was sleeping 5 to 6 hours without interruption. He told me, "Doctor, I feel 10 years younger just from sleeping again." It was not medication, it was timing. Smart hydration is not about restriction, it is about rhythm. By respecting your body's natural cycles, you ease pressure on the bladder, reduce irritation in the prostate, and restore one of the most vital pillars of health: uninterrupted rest. And this is just the beginning. Once you align your water intake with your body's needs, the next step is to align your movement with your meals. Because what you do in the minutes after you eat can either fuel inflammation or fight it. Let us explore the second habit, strategic walking, and see how something as simple as a short stroll can protect your prostate and strengthen your health in surprising ways. Habit 2. Strategic walking. After mastering smart hydration, the next habit is equally simple but profoundly powerful. It does not require a gym membership, fancy equipment, or even breaking a sweat. I call it strategic walking. Short, relaxed walks right after your main meals. At first glance, it may sound almost too easy. How could a 10 or 15-minute stroll make any real difference to your prostate? The answer lies in the way your body handles food, sugar, and inflammation. Every time you eat, your blood sugar naturally rises. For younger men, the body clears this sugar efficiently. But after 60, metabolism slows and the spikes last longer. These repeated spikes in blood sugar are not harmless. Over time, they create tiny sparks of inflammation throughout your body. And as modern science has revealed, chronic inflammation is one of the main drivers behind prostate enlargement and urinary problems. Now here is the fascinating part. A study published in the journal Diabetes Care compared two groups. One group took a single 45-minute walk at some point in the day. The other group took 3 15-minute walks, each right after a meal. The results were striking. The shorter post-meal walks controlled blood sugar far better than the longer single walk. In other words, it is not about how much you walk in total, but when you walk, that makes the real difference. So what does this have to do with your prostate? By keeping blood sugar stable, you reduce the background inflammation that irritates and enlarges the prostate. Less inflammation means less swelling, less pressure on your urethra, and fewer nighttime interruptions. It also means a healthier cardiovascular system, steadier weight, and better energy throughout the day, all of which indirectly support your prostate. I remember one of my patients, Michael, a 69-year-old retired teacher. He was skeptical when I suggested post-meal walks. "Doctor," he said, "I already walk twice a week in the park. Why would a 10-minute stroll after dinner matter?" But he gave it a try. Within just 2 weeks, his blood sugar readings improved. He reported fewer bathroom trips at night, and his wife told me with a smile that he finally stopped falling asleep in his chair every afternoon. It was a small habit, but it created a ripple effect across his entire life. To put this into practice, here is a simple approach. After your breakfast, lunch, and dinner, step outside or walk around your house for 10 to 15 minutes. Keep the pace light. You are not training for a marathon. You are simply keeping your muscles engaged while your body processes the meal. Think of it as helping your body use the sugar for energy instead of letting it sit in your bloodstream. If you live in a colder climate or have mobility challenges, don't let that stop you. Even walking indoors, pacing around your living room, or going up and down a hallway can make a meaningful difference. The key is timing and consistency, not intensity. The beauty of strategic walking is that it doesn't just support prostate health, it also strengthens your heart, improves digestion, helps control weight, and even enhances mood. For many men, it becomes a calming ritual that signals the body to wind down after eating. Over weeks and months, this small discipline compounds into big protection for your prostate and overall vitality. So, first we had smart hydration, which aligned water intake with your body's natural rhythm. Now we add strategic walking, which aligns your movement with your meals. Both habits work together to reduce irritation, calm inflammation, and restore balance. But we are not finished yet. The third habit is the most surprising of all. It is the one few men dare to talk about, and yet science shows it may be the most powerful tool of all for protecting your prostate after 60. Let's turn to that now. Habit 3. Natural prostate cleansing. We have covered hydration and walking, two habits that feel practical and familiar. Now it is time for the third habit. One that may make you pause, because it touches on a subject most men rarely discuss. I call it natural prostate cleansing. The truth is, this habit is not only natural, but scientifically proven to protect your prostate and even lower your risk of serious disease. Let's begin with the research. Harvard University conducted one of the largest studies ever on male health, following more than 30,000 men for nearly 20 years. The results were groundbreaking. Men who ejaculated more frequently, about 21 times per month or more, had up to a 33% lower risk of developing prostate cancer compared to men with lower frequency. That is not a small effect. It is a powerful and consistent pattern that doctors cannot ignore. Why does this matter? Because ejaculation is not only about reproduction. Each release acts like a natural cleanse for the prostate. With every ejaculation, your body flushes out old secretions, dead cells, and potential toxins that could otherwise build up inside the gland. If those materials remain trapped, they can irritate the prostate, fuel inflammation, and contribute to swelling or even cellular damage over time. By keeping the system clear, you lower irritation, improve circulation, and reduce long-term risk. I know this can be an uncomfortable subject, especially for men without a regular partner. Many were raised to believe that masturbation is shameful or harmful. But from a medical perspective, this is simply not true. The Harvard study and other research confirm that the benefit lies in the frequency itself, whether through partnered intimacy or self-release. In fact, thinking of ejaculation as a maintenance tool rather than a guilty act can help shift the mindset. It is part of caring for your body, just like drinking water or taking a walk. Let me share the story of Robert, a 70-year-old widower I once worked with. After his wife passed, he lived alone for many years and avoided any kind of sexual activity. Over time, he began experiencing worsening urinary problems, frequent urgency, pelvic discomfort, and disrupted sleep. When we discussed the Harvard research and the concept of natural cleansing, he was hesitant. But slowly, he embraced the practice, treating it as a health routine rather than something shameful. Within months, his symptoms improved, his nights became calmer, and he felt more at ease with his own body. So how often should this be practiced? There is no single number that fits every man. The Harvard study used 21 times per month as a marker, which works out to roughly 5 times per week. For some, that may be realistic. For others, it may be less. The key is consistency and listening to your body. Even a moderate increase compared to your current pattern can bring noticeable benefits. It is also important to place this habit in context. Natural cleansing does not replace medical checkups, PSA testing, or discussions with your doctor. Instead, it complements them, offering another layer of protection. If you feel uneasy about the subject, I encourage you to speak openly with your urologist. These conversations may feel awkward, but they are part of responsible health care. The larger point is this: your prostate is not a passive organ that simply ages without control. It responds to how you live, how you move, how you hydrate, and yes, how you release. When you see ejaculation not as an indulgence, but as part of maintenance, you remove shame and gain another powerful tool for protecting your future. So far, we have uncovered 3 daily habits: smart hydration, strategic walking, and natural prostate cleansing. Together, they address irritation, reduce inflammation, and keep your gland clear. But before we close, there is an important reminder. These habits work best when paired with regular medical care. Let's talk about why annual checkups remain your strongest ally. The essential warning: why annual checkups still matter. Now that we have explored the 3 habits that can transform your prostate health, it is time for a crucial reminder. Habits alone are powerful, but they are not the complete picture. If you are over 60, one of the most important decisions you can make is to schedule and keep your annual prostate checkup. Here is why. The prostate is a small gland, and most of the time, its changes are silent. You may not notice pain or dramatic symptoms until the problem has already advanced. Enlarged prostate, known as BPH, can creep in slowly. More serious concerns like prostate cancer often develop without obvious warning signs in the early stages. By the time symptoms appear, the condition may already be harder to treat. This is why early detection is so vital. There are two main tools your doctor uses to protect you. The first is the PSA blood test, which measures levels of a protein called prostate-specific antigen. Elevated levels can indicate inflammation, enlargement, or cancer. The second is the digital rectal exam, a quick physical check that allows your doctor to feel for irregularities in the gland. Neither test is perfect, but together they provide a safety net that has saved countless lives. I often meet men who avoid these exams out of fear, embarrassment, or a belief that they are unnecessary. One patient, Alan, 71, told me he skipped his PSA test for 5 years because he felt fine. When he finally went in, the cancer was already advanced. His regret was heavy. If I had gone every year, I might have caught it early. That story is not meant to frighten you, but to highlight how much is at stake. A few minutes of discomfort or awkwardness can buy you decades of healthy life. And here is the hopeful side. When prostate cancer is detected early, treatment is highly effective. According to the American Cancer Society, the 5-year survival rate for men diagnosed in the early stages is nearly 100%. That means that regular testing is not just routine, it is a lifeline. Think of your annual checkup as a partnership with your doctor. Just as smart hydration, strategic walking, and natural prostate cleansing are your daily defenses, your yearly exam is the long-term shield. Together, they form a complete system of protection, habits that reduce risk day by day, and screenings that catch problems before they grow serious. So here is my message to you. Do not let pride, shame, or fear hold you back. If you are over 60, put that appointment on your calendar and keep it every year. If you have a family history of prostate cancer, consider starting even earlier. These checkups are not a sign of weakness. They are a sign of strength, of choosing to protect your independence and your future. In the end, caring for your prostate is not only about avoiding discomfort, it is about preserving the quality of your life. It is the difference between restless nights and restful ones, between dependence and freedom. And with the right combination of habits and medical care, you can enjoy the years ahead with confidence. Now, let us bring everything together with a final reflection. A reminder of what these 3 habits mean and how small daily actions can change the story of your later years. When we step back and look at the bigger picture, the message becomes clear. Prostate problems may feel like an unavoidable part of aging, but the truth is, you hold more control than you realize. 3 simple habits: smart hydration, strategic walking, and natural prostate cleansing offer you a way to take back your nights, your comfort, and your independence. Think of smart hydration as a gift of balance. By drinking water at the right times, you calm your bladder, reduce irritation, and finally allow your body to rest through the night. It is such a small adjustment, yet it can restore hours of deep sleep you thought were gone forever. Then comes strategic walking, the habit that turns every meal into an opportunity for healing. With just 10 or 15 minutes of movement after eating, you fight inflammation at its source, protect your prostate, and strengthen your whole body. No pills, no equipment, just a simple walk that carries enormous power. And finally, the most surprising of all, natural prostate cleansing. What society once treated as shameful, science now confirms as protective. By maintaining a healthy frequency of release, you give your prostate the regular cleanse it needs to stay clear, reduce inflammation, and even lower the risk of serious disease. It is not indulgence, it is maintenance, and it is one of the most natural ways to care for yourself. But let us not forget the essential safeguard, your annual checkup. Habits defend you daily, but screenings protect you for the long term. Together, they form a shield, giving you both peace of mind and the freedom to enjoy life without fear. So here is my invitation to you. Do not wait for the symptoms to worsen. Start with one habit today: a glass of water in the morning, a short walk after dinner, or an honest conversation with your doctor. Small steps build momentum, and momentum changes lives. If this video resonated with you, subscribe to the channel, share it with a brother, a friend, or a son, and leave a comment below. Tell me which habit you will begin with today. Your health is your greatest asset, and with the right care, you can protect it and yourself for many years to come.